Wow. Oh, boy. My goodness. Here we go. The live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast is brought to you this time around by the Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty. Henry Steffes, if you're buying or selling a home, that's who I want you to call. TheSteffesGroup.com is how you get a hold of him. Reach out to him and mention the Eric Zane Show podcast. Now, I got to say, this is a little bit bittersweet. This is the last week that I'll be talking about Henry. He is going in a different direction for his marketing. I love him very much because he's been a tremendous supporter of the show. He still loves the show, but he's doing something a little bit different. So I want you to think about him. And if you ever down the road need someone to buy, sell your home for you, or if you're looking for a home to buy yourself, reach out to the Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty. Has been awesomely supportive, and so I don't want you to take it like, hey, you know, there's bad blood or anything like that. It's nothing like that. Just reach out to the Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty. I appreciate him so very much. He was there from the very beginning when I got this podcast started, and he's been nothing but a sweet, sweet soul helping out your old pal, Eric Zane. So, all right. Your sound is not working. Can't hear you. Oh, I see why. That's probably going to do it. There you go. There's the problem. Thank you very much to John Jenkins for tipping me off on the Facebook video. I might have two Facebook feeds going today. I'm not sure. When I was putting together the podcast, there's a thing called the Restream that throws it all out there. So, yeah, I'm actually on two sources right now, so I'm going to blow the first one out. So the folks who are watching on the wider shot, I'm going to eliminate that one right now. So I apologize for the confusion. You'll have to go to the other feed that is on Facebook, and then you'll be good to go. So I'm cutting this one right now. All right. Do not keep in my Facebook feed, and done. Thank God. Boy, that was just a pain in the ass. Here's how it went. I was getting the show ready this morning, and let's see. Yeah, it looks like Jason's getting it on Facebook on the Restream. If you know it's Restream because it says Restream in one of the corners, one of the upper corners. But so I'm getting the show ready, and then it says, "Oh no, this might not work," and I'm like, "Oh God, this is terrible. This is what happened yesterday." So I went ahead and set up the second camera, and that's why. So it's just kind of. And then when I realized it was working, even though it tells me it might not, it's, oh, God, this is just discombobulating me. So that messes me up big time. It's too bad because I was really looking forward to getting some momentum so I could head to the state capitol for the big sports protest. Oh, my God. Am I the only one that thinks that that's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life? Let's go storm the Capitol over sports. Shut the fuck up. What the fuck is wrong with you idiots? Go find something to do. What the fuck is wrong with you? Let's go storm the Capitol because the kids can't play sports. Fuck it. Go play paintball. The fuck is wrong with you? It's a GD pandemic going on. My God. Yeah, like I'm worried about the fucking high school basketball team. Shut the fuck up. My God. Holy shit. Shut up, Zane. Zane, it's important. It fucking means so much to the kids. Shut up. My God. You pain in the ass. What the fuck is wrong with you? F45 in Byron Center. I will be there today. Okay. F45 in Byron Center. I'll be there today at 6:00, getting the workout in. Jackie's going to shoot the video. And then I'm going to put it all together, and you'll be able to see for yourself exactly how it goes on at F45 in Byron Center. They are awesome, and you can work out for 1 week for free. If you go to F45.com, I'm sorry, F45training.com/Byron Center. That's what you do. Sign up And check it out, man. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. It is group training with a personal touch. They have everything you need there to get started on an exercise program. Please don't be intimidated. I know that's what a lot of people experience. Like, oh, God, I'm worried. How am I going to do? The toughest part is the toughest part is getting your ass in there and getting moving. Okay. Once you get in there, you are fine. If you want, I'll even break the ice for you. Okay. Thank you to F45 in Byron Center, Michigan. Real quick, my friends at Horizon Hydroponics are doing something really, really cool to support the community. And this is what's up. All of the Horizon Hydroponics stores are doing a calendar promotion. They're giving away a 2021 calendar free to the customers who come in who purchase $100 worth of whatever it is they buy there at Horizon Hydroponics. And also in last 50 customers, $5 to benefit Feeding West Michigan GR. That's written weird. I don't know. But anyway, either way, a ton of money is going to be raised for some of the local food banks because of Horizon Hydroponics. So get in there. Buy some stuff, buy $100 or more worth of stuff, and then you're helping out the local food bank. You get the freaking calendar. You're good to go. They got a vendor day going on, which is some of these companies come in there with like a bunch of freebies and things like that. And that is happening with Heavy 16 Plant Nutrient Company tomorrow, noon to 7 in Grand Rapids. So if you like growing cannabis, that's the place to be. Get yourself some freebies at Horizon Hydroponics, who just signed on to the Eric Zane Show podcast for another 6 months of marketing. Another 6 months of marketing. By the way, I was distracted when I was talking about Henry Steffes because of the live stream mishap. I definitely love Henry very much. He has been nothing but a godsend at a time when I was just getting started on the podcast. But, you know, these things happen from time to time. So I wish him nothing but the best. Okay? All right. Maybe he'll come back on the show a little bit further down the road. Who knows? If not, I'll let a little bit of time pass, and then I'll like reach out to him, say, Henry, come on back, man. We want you back on the show. But, you know, either way, Henry will still be doing amazing events and things like that, and probably wanting to work the show in at some point. So I imagine we will cross paths again. We love you, Henry. You're the best. And thank you so much for supporting this show for as long as you did, you and your lovely wife. I really, really appreciate it. Okay. Man, I got a lot of stuff to get to today. This is the 28th of January, 2021. The Eric Zane Show podcast officially begins. Let's see. What are we going to do now?
Yes, hello. Sean Gotti with you once again from Raleigh, North Carolina. And you know what? There's a million other things I'd rather be doing right now. But here I am, listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast. So without further ado, here he is, the one, the only, thank God, Eric Zane.
Thank you very much, Sean. All right. This is a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal opinions, my personal suggestions. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty wound up today. If you want this show, you can find it one of several spots live each and every morning. Again, today was an on-time start time. I swear to God. And then oh my God, am I not gonna have my feed? Oh no! And so I'm like scrambling. So typically it's 8 a.m. ish, which means it's starting later than it's supposed to. But damn it, one of these days I'm gonna get that right. It's been like years now that I haven't been able to get it right. But nevertheless, you know what to expect if you've been here for a while. You can follow the show and enjoy it live on the live stream each and every morning on Facebook. That's brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, who they're about $1,000 in the black after yesterday because your old pal Eric Zane practices what he preaches and took the with the Civic going there. Here's what I love about Irvine's Auto Repair Grand Rapids Hybrid, and this is kind of like part of their commercial, is because I take the car there because there was the vehicle wasn't starting, and I thought it was an electrical issue. Turns out Jackie probably left the interior light on or left it in accessory mode or something like that, because they could find nothing wrong with it. Battery's strong. All the electrical components are strong, Eric. There's nothing wrong with this car. However, you're over 100,000 miles. You need new spark plugs. You need a redo of the transmission fluid. You need the brake fluid needs to be changed. And they pull the brake fluid out and test it, and it shows that it's actually broken down to the shitty level, on the gauge. It says this is shitty and bad. If you want to maintain your vehicle, replace this. So I did. I was like, thank you so much. I'm glad I brought it there. So then they go, oh, and you also have this laundry list of things that are in need of being taken care of. You can take care of that in a few months after when you get the oil change or something like that. So that's just another reason why I love them so very much. They did an amazing job. Thank you. Yeah, you can just screw it, I don't want to do it, but then you're not maintaining the car, and then the car goes to shit a hell of a lot faster. You don't want to do that. It's a good car, so thank you. Okay. In addition to on Facebook, Twitter, and by the way, on Facebook, share that thing. Share the hell out of it right now. On Twitter, I've got a Periscope video brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Retweet it and then say something nasty about your old pal Eric, okay? Get creative with it. Listen to this shit show on the quote of the retweet. And then that is brought to you by Blue Frost IT. And then on YouTube, of course, search Eric Zane Show. Subscribe to the page, hit the bell notification, and like it. Crush the like button, the thumbs up button on YouTube. F45 in Byron Center brings you the YouTube page. Okay. And of course, you download this show wherever you download podcasts. Doesn't matter where. I'm on them all. I am on them all. If I'm not, just grab the RSS feed off of ericzaneshow.com and throw it into whatever stupid platform you want to use. I don't give a shit. Like it matters. My God. I'm an Apple Podcast guy myself. Just search it. Boom. It's there. Done. Plus, you can subscribe, rate, and review it on Apple Podcasts. Anything else housekeeping-wise? I got an Instagram page. That's where I do Instagram Instant Trivia on Instagram Live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Brought to you by MB Distributing. The Instagram page is sponsored by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Every damn thing on this show is sponsored. I know that because this is my job, and that's what I'm supposed to do. You podcast several hours a day, and then you sell the shit out of it on the back half. That's how you do it. That's the hustle. That's the grind. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't have been able to do this for the last 2 years and 1 month. But yet, here we are. Podcast number, 511, 512, something like that. My God. Leave me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Believe it or not, on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. And you, too, could possibly be the email of the day. Brought to you by Forever Lawn, West Michigan. There. That's it. Okay, folks. On today's show, it's been a minute since an NFL player beat up a lady. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to former NFL player Chad Wheeler. He is the latest combatant in NFL player versus little lady. Okay. Oh, my God. This one is one of the worst. They're all terrible. This one is something because as soon as it happened, as soon as I started to see stories about it, people who have always want to throw race into this right away say, did you see the NFL? People are covering it up because he's a white guy. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. It's not quite like that. You got to let this, you got to let it proliferate. And then as soon as the world starts to get on board, this guy, and then they're like, whoa, no, wait a minute. No, you're not showing his mug shot. How come you're not showing his mug shot? If you were a black guy, you'd show his mug shot. It's like, fuck, dude, I don't know. Who gives a fuck? We all know who the guy is. He's a fucking piece of shit, and everybody knows that. We're all on the same page here. Not everything does not need to be about race. We all agree. So if I'm in a room of black guys and we have a picture of Chad Wheeler, we're all going to say, "Hey, he's an asshole." We're all on the same team here. It's the whole world against Chad Wheeler. All right, he's doing the right thing when it comes to an excuse, though. I'll give him that. It's not going to help him in any way, shape, or form. But what an absolute shit show! I feel so bad for this young lady that he just, oh God, this is rough. Archaeologists have discovered the most important dinosaur fossil of all time. You will find out why. Thank you to Ben Glaze and Brett Hayes. I think it was Ben who actually sent this one off to me. Thank you very much. PETA. I finally got to this one. I was going to get to this yesterday. I didn't. PETA scores a victory as they are fighting the good fight for the monkeys. This is, I actually am like quite happy that this is happening because, but I do have questions as to why it's happening in the first place. And I've kind of talked about this before. Monkeys and coconut gathering. This is just so strange. And the story of GameStop. GameStop's instant Wall Street fame is incredible. And I think all these dum-dums are going to end up paying the price on this. Okay? Let's talk about that. All right. Now, bear with me. I want to make sure that everything is looking good. Yeah, it looks like everything is working on Facebook. And yeah, but that was really, really strange. That I thought for a second there that we didn't have our Facebook feed, but we do. Referencing the march on the Capitol to let them play. There's a contingency in the world today here in Michigan that actually believes that in Michigan, they don't want the kids to play sports because they actually want to control them. They actually believe that it isn't because of not getting sick, that they actually think that there's a sinister side to it. And it's one of the dumbest arguments I've ever heard in my entire life. Josh says, will Huge be there? Yes, he will. He will be there. Sid, fuck no, let them play. And I'm like, come on, man. I love you, but this is just dumb. What are you doing? Ugh. Awful. The Insane Asylum list looks wild, says Adam the Odd. Lots of neat covers on there. If you are on Patreon, Cole, who listens in Colorado Springs, Colorado, said, here's a list of all covers. Now, every single song on there is a cover by another famous band or artist. And there's one song that is Adam's song, Adam's Oddity, and is not a cover, but that's a special feature on the Insane Asylum. But my favorite my favorite song on the covers edition of the Zane Asylum is The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, originally done by Gordon Lightfoot. And there's a band, it's a punk band out of Kingston, Ontario. Been around for years. It broke up and they got back together. They're called Headstones. Never heard of them before. And this cover of The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is just, fantastic. Totally different tempo. Really, really cool. Stand by. That's on the Insane Asylum, my music-driven radio show, part of Q100. It'll air Sunday morning at midnight. You get it now, commercial-free. Okay. All right. Typically, when I start with a story about a bizarre, awkward moment in the Eric Zane Show podcast household, it involves the NFK. If you're new, the NFK is my brother-in-law, No Filter Kevin. This has nothing to do with him. Not a damn thing. Then you usually look at the next likely suspect maybe Diana, usually Jacqueline, my oldest daughter. She loves to make me uncomfortable and awkward. Nope. This time around, it is my sweet, lovely daughter's boyfriend, whom I love very much, named Justin.
Hey, how you doing?
His voice is so low, it's like it's in a register that you can't even understand words. He could tell you that he won the lottery, and it would sound like this. This is like that Howard Stern bit when the chick gets on the speaker and he goes, which is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. Or yeah, sure, that happened. Shut up, Howard, you fucking dummy. Don't give me that shit. I know it was all set up. Yeah, I gave her an orgasm by just going, good one. Dum-dum. Anyway, so Justin, Jackie again, come over. Everything's fine. It's usual family time, hanging out, having a good discussion about whatever. Jackie's bummed out because she hasn't been able to get a big girl job yet, and she just got declined on one. So she's kind of got the blues. So we got to cheer her up. No big deal. Justin, he's doing great. He just started his accounting job at a local firm, and he's taking his what do they call it? CPA exam. Is that what it is? Yeah. And so he's making his way through that, and he's actually waiting on results of a test right now. It's a really, really unbelievable set of protocols to become a CPA. But he's, so these young people, we love having them over. It's great. I got Madison there. I got Justin, Jackie, the NFKs watching TV, of course. Diana, me. We have dinner, and then it's time to go. So Jackie and Justin have to drive over to Irvine's, pick up the Civic. And it's time to leave. Now, I'm not going to lie. When it comes to hugging the kids, they always want to give full frontal hugs. And I don't do that. I do not like to be that close to genitals. Okay? No. If you're going to get a hug from me, if you're one of the kids, I'm going to stop 1.5 feet from you and bend over. And just the shoulders are going to touch. Bodies are not touching. Okay. This is key. If you have an adult child, you do not hug front to front like that. It's got to be a side action or a lean action. Any front to front is sick. You're a sick son of a bitch if you mash genitals with your kids. All right. All parents have this built into them. If they don't, if you know anybody that does front to front, genital to genital hug with adult kids, they're fucking maniacs. Okay? Avoid these people. Sick bastards. Look at O'Neill right now. For God's sake, how is that comfortable? He's curled into the letter C, and his paws are sticking straight up in the air. What are you doing? My God, can you even see that on the videos? Hold on. I guess you can kind of see him. This looks ridiculous. Paws are sticking up straight in the air. All right. So I never, ever hug that way. And with Justin, it's even more absurd. What I do, it's become a joke because he's not one of my kids. Okay. What I do is I take the crown of my head, the very top of it, okay? Like you're a guy doing a bad tackle in the NFL that you're about to get a 15-yard targeting penalty for. And I put the crown of my head, and he's like 6'5". And the crown of my head actually goes into like the top of his belly, the bottom of his chest, almost into his sternum. And I just put it there kind of like as a gag, and then he kind of like taps me on the back. Okay, that's the dynamic. It's always been that way. I'm not comfortable doing any other type of hug with him, and so that's what he's going to get. You take what you're going to get, or however you say that. So that's it. Justin, I don't know how it happened. I don't know why he responded this way. Okay, yeah, I think Jackie said, Justin, give him a real hug. Justin, give him a real hug. Now, again, we've been through this a million times. Justin, give him a real hug or something like that, Jackie says. Justin says, I can't. Your dad always wants to give me head. Oh, what the fuck? I can't. Your dad always wants to give me head. Dude, what the fuck? The whole room erupts, man. Diana's on the floor. Madison's laughing. I'm disgusted because she knows what that means. Of course she knows what that means. She's 18 years old, for God's sake. Jackie's like, oh, man, it was horrible. It was, and then I'm like, I just wrinkle up my nose. I look at him like, you sick son of a bitch. You are so dead to me. What the fuck is that? Give you head? Oh, no, what I meant was, I go, yeah, I know. You meant to say something else, but it doesn't matter. It already flew out of your stupid face that I like to give you head. Your dad likes to give me head. Oh my God. Right away. I'm like, it all hits me in a wave. I'm like, I'm disgusted. I'm mortified. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this household? All these women are laughing at me. But at the same time, I know I've got a great story to start the podcast out with. Son of a gun. Oh, yep. Can't make it up. So there you go. That was the latest bizarre, awkward moment in this ridiculous thing called the Eric Zane Show podcast household. If I look over at okay. Melissa LMAO, the Peruvian Edge writes, did his brain go dead? Stevie says, damn, I missed it. Hubby keeps talking to me. Stevie says, what did he say? Well, Stevie, when I put my head into Justin's chest, Jackie said, Justin, give him a real hug. And he said, I can't. Your dad always wants to give me head. Fuck. And tell your husband to shut up so I don't have to repeat my jokes or my stories. Damn it. Incredible. What a thing. More today, probably. Who knows? That's the intro of the Eric Zane Show podcast. All right. I know it's quote unquote killing the podcasts. No, it's not. Thank you to the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. If you need a mortgage, I want you to reach out to Mario. It might not be right now. It might be down the road. Or if you know somebody who does, please keep Mario in mind. Hey, I listened to this podcast. Eric Zane Show podcast. Yeah, I see that. You share it on Facebook. Just say, hey, this guy, you might want to try him out along with whatever else you're trying. Because some people they have somebody that is their go-to, and that's cool. That's fine. All I'm asking is that you let Mario try. Reach out to him, 231-332-6505. 231-332-6505. If you go to ericzaneshow.com, you can see my sponsor scrolls. They go from one holds for a few seconds, and then it goes to the next one. Mario's logo is like emerald green with white lettering. Click on that. It'll take you right to his website if you need more information. Never been a better time, to get a mortgage. And right now, if you, anybody, it doesn't matter where you are in the U.S., Mario can get a mortgage for you. Thank you, Mario. 231-332-6505. Okay, if you are the man or you are working for the man, you might need a tech system upgrade in your workplace. And you can be the darling of the workforce if you politely suggest to the boss, say, look, I know that you've been struggling, piecemealing, trying to get our computer, our tech, our printers, our firewalls, our routers, whatever it is, our monitors working the way they should be, but it's not working. We need a tech upgrade. We need to call Blue Frost IT. 616-200-8550. They're part of this show that I listen to, the Eric Zane Show podcast. Yeah, I know. I see you always retweet that on Twitter. This is who you want to get a hold of, okay? They'll sit down with a complimentary consultation. They'll sit down with you, and then you basically tell them what is up. They take diligent notes, and then they price it all out. They tell you, all right, all the new gear, this is what it's going to cost you, and we will set it up. It's all part of a turnkey operation at Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the show. Please engage them, as I encourage you to do with all of the sponsors. Let's drop them a line, info@bluefrostit.com. I was checking out the Kent County Health Department website yesterday. You're like, boy, you're a party animal, Eric. accesskent.com/health. And when you go there, in bright red letters, COVID-19 information and resources, general info, FAQ, data dashboard, testing locations, mental health resources, resources for employers, resources for employees, and on and on and on. That's all at accesskent.com/health. They have all the information that you need. And right now, the big story is there's just not enough vaccine. And it's like, I see everybody going crazy about this. And it's like, yeah, well, we kind of expected this. When you have 300 million plus people that suddenly need a vaccine, there's going to be a little buildup that's needed. So patience is definitely required. Serving as many people as can be right now, and getting, of course, medical professionals, teachers vaccinated, and the elderly first. I've got a story coming up in the show about some dude in Philadelphia. Man, you don't ever want to be the guy who cuts the line on vaccination, even if it's just one vaccination. This dum-dum did just that, and now he's public enemy number one. For God's sake, don't do that. Thank you to the Kent County Health Department. accesskent.com/health if you need any information about COVID. All right. I hate to have to do it, but I got to talk about this guy, Chad Wheeler. And if you're a football player who, plays only a handful of games and probably not making the big money, but hoping to one day improve your game because you're a young player to get to that point, and nobody knows who you are, the last thing you want is to suddenly become famous or infamous because of terrible behavior. He is now out of football. Chad Wheeler of the Seattle Seahawks, arrested on suspicion of felony assault, domestic violence. And it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. He did it. He's blaming it on mental health, and that very well may be true. But the fact of the matter is, this is going to turn very, very badly. It's someone was badly hurt. This lady, and oh my God, the images of her. She's all beaten up. You've seen a woman beat up before, swollen face. He strangled her. He broke her arm, for God's sake. This whole thing is just a disaster. And when you hear the tale of the tape of the combatants, this guy is 6'7", 325 pounds. I'm sorry, 310 pounds. She's like 5'3", 130. Oh, boy. And they're throwing the book at him. This is just awful. King County Prosecutor's Office filed criminal charges of this horrible charge: first-degree domestic violence, assault, domestic violence, and lawful imprisonment, resisting arrest against Wheeler. I can only hope, though, that this too often you hear about these things, and somehow these criminals somehow end up avoiding any long-term jail time. I don't know how, but they do. Spokesperson with the county prosecutor's office talked to ESPN. He's accused of twice choking his girlfriend until she lost consciousness. Prosecutors request that Wheeler be placed on electronic home detention and for his ankle monitoring device to be equipped with GPS monitoring, scheduled to be arraigned February 9th. Earlier Wednesday, the Seahawks cut him. In a series of tweets Wednesday, Wheeler wrote that events happened over the weekend that transpired from a manic episode. I am deeply sorry for the pain and suffering I have caused to the woman. That's an admission of guilt. And her family, I apologize profusely for the turmoil that I have caused to my family, teammates, fans, and those closest to me. Well, who knows? You might just be saying that because you got busted. The most important thing right now is that the woman gets the care she needs and I get help. Both are happening. Well, I mean, as far as, trying to pick up the pieces, I would say that everything he said right there is probably the best thing that could be said. Him talking about the care of the lady and him being as screwed up mentally as can possibly be. He says, it is time for me to walk away from football and get the help I need to never again pose a threat to another. That's another good thing this guy said. This is the first good decisions this dumb-dumb's made in a while. I cannot express my sorrow or remorse enough. I am truly ashamed. Well, how do you feel about this, ladies and gentlemen? If you have someone who goes through a manic episode and then they hurt someone like that, should they be incarcerated? I mean, what happens? What to do in this scenario? I'm not an expert in this. I have no idea, and of course, neither are you all. But still, I think that a person should remain incarcerated, but getting treatment at the same time. The type of facility that requires long-term incarceration. But I don't know. It's tough. That is a very, very difficult thing to try to put together. I don't think that it should be like, well, just let him go. It's fine. He's sick. I don't think that that's the answer. The Seahawks released a statement saying the Seahawks are saddened by the details emerging against Chad Wheeler. And I'm going to get to those details in just a second. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, there is no good. It's all bad and ugly. They strongly condemn this act of domestic violence. I'm curious as to when the Seahawks got wind of it. I guess this all happened on Friday. So timeline matters. When did they find out? Because if they found out, were they kind of waiting until the story broke in the news? That's always tricky. And you always want to find out, it's like, why are you, okay, had this not broken in the news, would you have done what you did? That's the old Ray Rice thing, okay? Ray Rice, that was a crazy thing because nobody did anything to Ray Rice after he beat up his wife in an elevator until months later when the video surfaced. Everybody covered that guy's ass because he's a good football player. So it's always tricky. But this one, you don't have that much time between the incident and the release, so it might be harder to pin somebody down on that, or maybe they were just waiting to see. Who knows? So they waived him on Wednesday. Hang on a second. O'Neill's still out of it. Not at all interested in this story. Wheeler was arrested on Friday evening after the alleged assault at an apartment. I hate alleged. He did it. For God's sake, he admitted it. At an apartment in the Seattle suburb of Kent, where he and the woman had been living together since November. According to the incident report and the charging documents obtained by ESPN, the woman called 911 from inside a locked bathroom and said she was being killed. She told Kent police she had fled into the bathroom after Wheeler threw her onto a bed and choked her long enough for her to lose consciousness. At one point, she said he removed one hand, stuck it down her throat. Oh, my God, this is terrible. I apologize. And pressed it against her nose and mouth to try to stop her from breathing. Holy shit. While continuing to choke her with his other hand. This is really, really sinister stuff. Very, very dark. The woman briefly regained consciousness before Wheeler pinned her down and choked her back into unconsciousness, according to the charging documents. The woman recalled attempting to roll away from Wheeler, only for Wheeler to violently grab her left arm and rip her body back toward him. The charging documents state that when the woman regained consciousness for the second time, Wheeler calmly returned to the bedroom and expressed surprise, saying to her, "Oh, you're still alive." She ran to the bathroom, locked it, and sent text messages to friends and family, as well as Wheeler's father, asking them to call 911. She said she heard Wheeler tell someone on the phone she believed it was his father that he was She said she heard Wheeler tell someone on the phone, she believed it was his father, that he was just chilling. When the woman tried to flee out of a second door to the bathroom, Wheeler entered and began apologizing profusely, she said. Apparently this all started, and Let's see, I wonder if they get to it. This all began, and when he walked into the room and said to her, "Bow down to me," like Game of Thrones style or some shit. She's like, "What? What the fuck are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, bow down to me." And she said, "No." And then that was it. That's what set this giant man off to attacking this young small woman. Police could hear her screaming from inside the apartment. They show up. They burst into the house, kicked the door down, and then they went into the locked bathroom. And there's 6'7", 310-pound Wheeler standing behind the woman. The report states she was crying in pain, her face covered in blood, left arm swollen and limp against her body, fingerprints on both sides of her neck. The dude, the idiot, 6'7", 310-pound Wheeler, did not comply with officers' commands, so they busted out the taser. Yeah, right. It said it didn't even do anything to the guy. It's a giant man, 6'7", 310. They go, they should have just shot him right there in the fucking face. They did nothing to the guy. 3 officers attempted to detain him. He's like, rawr, like the Rampage video game. He's got a guy on each arm, another guy around him, and he's kicking their ass. While he's fighting, he's yelling, "I'm sorry," and said, "I don't beat women," according to the arresting officer. He called out to the woman that he loved her. Wheeler refused to speak with the cops. She was taken to the hospital. She had a broken humerus. That's the big bone between the elbow and the shoulder. Broke that arm and dislocated the elbow in the arm. My God. I'm really sorry that you all have to hear this. It's just awful. Whites of her eyes turned red almost completely because signs of strangulation. Oh, man. Very, very rough. Very, very bad. The woman told cops that Wheeler, whom she had been dating for about 6 months, has bipolar disorder and that he had not been taking his medication recently. She said Wheeler had a manic episode that was not provoked by any sort of argument, but rather began when he suddenly snapped into a dark place and told her to stand up and bow to him. He grabbed her by the neck and threw her onto the bed once she refused. Wow. Booked into the King County Jail early Saturday morning, released Tuesday morning after posting a $400,000 bond. Let's see. First-degree domestic violence assault is a Class A felony in Washington, while domestic violence and lawful imprisonment is a Class C felony. If convicted, Wheeler could be sentenced to 8 to 12 years in prison, according to prosecutors. Frankly, I think 8 to 12 years is light. He gets that and then just has to get treatment for the duration of the time. If you're a danger to the community, my opinion is this: if you're a danger to the community, you should be incarcerated for that amount of time for punishment / treatment. I mean, it's not the general public's fault that you're sick, and you can't be out as a menace to society, walking amongst law-abiding citizens who don't like broken arms and just want someone to love them. This is fucking terrible. Whew. Let's see. I'm trying to find anything about when the team found out. He went undrafted out of USC in 2017. Spent parts of the first 3 seasons with the New York Giants starting. Now you're going to hear about other people coming out of the woodwork now and say, yeah, this guy's a menace. The Los Angeles Times reported that while at USC in December of 2015, Wheeler was detained and then taken to a hospital for a psychiatric evaluation after police responded to a call that he was punching walls and windows while barricaded inside an apartment with a 20-year-old woman and her 7-month-old son. Police subdued Wheeler by firing multiple beanbag rounds, according to the report. If you're a football team, how do you not find out about something like that? So before, he starts playing football in 2017 at a professional level, or even when he's playing with USC, and you find out about, hey, Wheeler, we found out that you got subdued by the cops over the weekend when they had to shoot you with beanbags, beanbag rounds. I think we got to have a talk about that. To me, it's enabling that he was allowed to play football at USC. It's enabling to allow him to play football at any level going forward, knowing what this guy is capable of. My God, who didn't see this one coming? Fucking terrible. And why the hell did he get off of his medicine? What did he? How could you possibly have thought that was a good idea? I mean, there's some serious warning signs there. Holy shit! My God, good riddance, Chad Wheeler. Good riddance, Chad Wheeler. Stay away. Okay, on to something a little bit more lighter, but pretty phenomenal. The Saga of GameStop. Okay. You may have seen this. GameStop, the brick and mortar store where you go in, you get a video game, whatever. Not exactly the business model of choice in this day and age to actually go to a store and buy something. From what I understand, this is being driven by people on Reddit and something called short selling, which may have kind of like have something to do with the film The Big Short. You remember that one? Well, as recently as the summer, GameStop was selling being publicly traded per share at about $4 per share. Okay? And when a company is performing that poorly, big giant hedge funds try a little trick called a short sell. And what that is professional investors. I'm reading this directly off of a news source. They borrow shares of stock to sell, and then they buy them back later so that they can return it. And then they take the profit and they pocket the profits if the stock price goes down. Okay? Basically, it's a bet that a company will fail. And typically, when big hedge funds and big money people do this, little teeny tiny investors get out of the way. In this case, they didn't. And it all started on Reddit, where, I'm already getting ahead of it. The simplest answer as to why everyone is talking about GameStop is because the stock price has skyrocketed to around 8,000% in the past 6 months. Today, it'll probably top $500 a share. It is the stock is a central game piece of a financial power struggle between a major hedge fund called Melvin Capital and a group of ragtag amateur stock traders who are buying the stock online on various apps like Robinhood. Mike Novogratz, an investor and former hedge fund manager, said the internet activity is a result of frustration that everyday investors are often locked out of lucrative opportunities such as initial public stock offerings. What it feels like is the game is stacked against the little guy. Why GameStop? Like most stores that still sell products in person, it has had a hard time lately as video game sales have moved online and as the COVID-19 pandemic keeps people away from stores. It's still in business, but few people expect it to grow again. It's circling the drain. There are several companies like this right now. So that's how the hedge fund people got involved. They started to, okay, we're gonna short sell this. This company's about to go under. Investors follow the buy low, sell high format when it comes to stocks. Short sellers do the opposite. They borrow and sell a stock when it's high and bet that it will continue to fall. If that doesn't happen and the stock price rises, short sellers are forced to cover their positions or buy more stocks to minimize their losses. So because these bigwigs, the hedge funds, in essence, are betting against a company's success, it can be a risky position. Typically, they win out. Any positive news or enthusiasm for the stock will push up the stock's valuation, and that will screw the hedge fund people or the short sellers. In the case of GameStop, chatter on massive online trading forums invigorated interest in buying the stock. It was just momentum, talk of it. People started to speculate about it on a certain subreddit, which I think they get to the what known as WSB, Wall Street Bets. The subreddit is called Wall Street Bets. So people started to buy it up, and at first it was for not much money, but then as the value of it went up, people started to buy it more and more, and they scurry to come up with nickels and dimes to buy even just one share of it, and they're remaining firm. They're not selling it, so that keeps causing the stock to go up and up and up and up, and that is screwing the people that have these hedge funds right in their greedy buttholes, and that has everybody just laughing their asses off. How does the internet fit in? This article says the internet has been used to prognosticate about stocks for decades, but there's never been anything quite like the Reddit community called Wall Street Bets. Wall Street Bets takes something of an internet extremist approach to investing. Its slogan is, like 4chan, found a Bloomberg terminal, alluding to the fringe message board in the Bloomberg computer system that is nearly ubiquitous in finance. Amateur investors on WSB have discussed GameStop, which they refer to by its stock ticker abbreviation GME, for years, but things changed earlier this year. As the price of the shares rose, more WSB posters jumped on board. And as it happened, more and more people got on board, and so the price is slowly but surely going up, but no big deal. What happened Friday? Hold on a second. Let me I'm back up. What if a bunch of people bought GameStop stock? This is where things get a little complicated and a bit more unclear. Shares in GameStop ticked up on January 11th after it named 3 people to its board of directors as part of a deal with shareholders who had been agitating for change. Again, this is like $4 a share. It's like $500 right now. As part of a deal with shareholders who had been agitating for change, that caused some short sellers to abandon their positions, helping to drive the stock up more in the following days. The only emboldened traders on WSB that only emboldened traders on WSB. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop, a person wrote January 14th, along with a clip from the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. So it kind of started as a joke. The stock traded even for the next few days. Things really began to change on Friday, just like the other Friday, the last Friday. See, this is all about momentum and basically just attention. This has nothing to do with anything more than just people are paying attention and jumping on board. It doesn't have anything to do with the real value of the company. There's a brick and mortar store that's going to go under. It's all about just almost a joke, but it still has real cash value to it. And people want to screw the hedge fund providers, shareholders right in the butt. CNBC data showed that the volume of shares traded, a closely watched indicator of activity around the stock, spiked on Friday. Increased volume can indicate a short squeeze, meaning people, now a short sell is what was happening. Now this is different. This is a short squeeze, meaning people who had bet against the stock either chose or were forced to give up and take the losses. And while WSB had gotten some media attention in recent days for its GameStop boosterism, a boom in coverage of GameStop and WSB helped bring the story out of the financial world and into the mainstream. That's it. The frenzy was on. GameStop shares would go from trading on Friday at around $43, which is already significantly more than what we started in August, to as much as $380, becoming one of the most traded stocks on the market. Elon Musk, the world's wealthiest person, who has also publicly battled short sellers, tweeted out Tuesday, "Game stonk," with a link to WSB. Game stonk is a reference to GameStop and to stonk, which is internet slang for stock. So now everybody's talking about it. It says, does this matter to ordinary investors? Yes. For one thing, the volume of trading has strained the computer infrastructure of online brokerages, including TD Ameritrade, which said Wednesday that its mobile app was handling unprecedented volumes. And at least on paper, ordinary investors are making money even if they're not paying attention. BlackRock, which operates mutual funds, may have made billions of dollars from the rise in GameStop shares alone. This is incredible. So then it basically talks about what this could mean, and is there a downside? And yes, there is a downside. What is probably, or what could happen, is it all goes to shit. The bubble could burst. And that's similar to what we've experienced, if you remember back to what is known as when the .com bubble burst. If that happens, all these people that are paying so much for shares of this and this momentum, and they're hanging on to it, if they hang on to it a bit too long, all they need to see is, if they see just a little bit of a tumble in the GameStop falling, let's say it goes from 500 to 450 quickly, I'm guessing these amateur investors are going to go, fuck, sell it. And then you're going to see a massive sell-off, and then this thing's going to be worthless, and everybody's going to be twisting in the wind. My God. Absolutely incredible. And this is also happening now with different companies. AMC movie theaters is also being discussed. Bed Bath & Beyond. People are buying that. AMC shares went up by 265% Wednesday. Bed Bath & Beyond up 176%. Tootsie Roll Industries. How could that possibly be going down? They're up. Apparently, they had been down. But yeah, that's how it's working right now. Very, very interesting to me. How it all started just based on a freaking Reddit thread. Unbelievable. And if you're GameStop, like, what the hell is going on? And I don't know how they end up benefiting. I have a very pedestrian knowledge on this. I'm just following the story, and I can just imagine all these people who were trying to short sell it, and now they're like, oh my God, we're getting squeezed. Incredible. Not nearly as much smoke and mirrors when it comes to my Patreon. You pay me, I give you. I've got plenty of content on my Patreon. I would love you to check it out at patreon.com/Eric Zane. I just uploaded the new edition of the Zane Asylum. It's there for you right now. Tomorrow, the Lost Zane recordings show up. And I've got the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, in which I haven't even yet scheduled that with Ben. Hold on a second. Hey, Siri. Text Ben.
What do you want to say?
Hi, Ben. No, that's Dad. I can't text Dad. Why does that always work out that way? I got to do it now. Hold on a second. Hi, Ben. Period. Do you want a podcast on Friday? ? Please say yes. Period. All right, that's good. And then there's this good news. Hi, Eric. This is your dentist. I just wanted to reach out to let you know that your dental insurance policy is now active. Oh, thank God, man. I was so worried about that. That was rough. That was earlier in the week. If you have not yet heard the story about my trip to the dentist, that was Monday's podcast. That was like a highlight. You must check it out. Okay. Anyway, if you want to sign up on Patreon, it's $5 or $10 a month, and I really want you to try it. Okay, just try it for $5 or $10 a month, and then if you don't like it, you can cancel it right away, and then you still get the whole month. Okay, and then it cancels on its own. But if you like it, sign up for a yearly, and I'll give you the whole thing for saving you 10%. Okay, the $5 a month is just the audio. The $10 a month gets you the audio, the video, and the live streams. And I'll save you $12 a year if you buy it by the year on the tier 2, which is $10 a month. And then $5 a month for the year is $60. Save you 10%. I'll save you $6. Like how I did that math there? I got it down, man. I have got it down. Speaking of math, Tag Accounting, tagcpa.net. The absolute best in the business. Say no to doing it by yourself with your freaking pencil and your calculator and your documents spread all over the freaking kitchen table on a Saturday. What are you doing? Call upon Troy Ginzer, Tag Accounting, 616-301-9516, tagcpa.net. tagcpa.net. You can also reach out to Troy himself on an email, troy@tagcpa.net, and say, hey, Eric Zane told me to reach out to you. I want in. He'll save you time. He'll save you money. You'll get more back in your return. And here's the thing. You do all of this. You don't even need to be in person. You can just upload it all to his portal from anywhere in the United States. tagcpa.net. This is the time of the year that you want to get this done. You reach out to Troy Ginzer. He only advertises on the podcast at about this time. Let's get after it. tagcpa.net. Troy@tagcpa.net. Drop him an email today. Recorded an interview yesterday that I have not yet published with Steve Prince, the licensed CPL instructor from Prince Army. But we didn't talk about anything pistol related. We talked about his ministry that he works with, Warriors Set Free, helping our most vulnerable veterans recover from PTSD through scripture. And boy, was this fantastic. I cannot wait to publish this for you. Very, very serious subject. Okay, it wasn't a damn bit funny. Well, a little bit funny, a little bit of joking. But Prince, he teaches CPL. He does CPL certification, and the next class is coming up on Saturday and Sunday. Go to princearming.com or just click on his logo at ericzaneshow.com, and it'll take you right to his Facebook page as well. He's also got a class coming up on February 20th. That's a Saturday with Prince Arming. You can call him too, 616-204-1705. All right. Double check on y'all. Make sure you're doing okay. Melissa says, referring to the crazy guy, Chad Wheeler, who got off of his medicine. She's, I guess there was a conversation between her and Chad. I'm sorry, her and Tom. No, Chad's in jail. We're not. He's in trouble. Chad is not involved in this. She says, my doctor always told me never to go off on the medication. Going off the medications can cause more problems than a person has before. It's true. I've watched a family member go on and off for years, each time getting worse than before. Finally got it through their head, along with therapy, that it would be lifelong maintenance. You know, that what's interesting about that, from my perspective, I don't suffer from bipolar disorder, but as it goes, and I'll just quickly repeat the story, in order to give away the kidney, I was so hell-bent on doing that I was concerned that if the medical professionals at UCLA, that they may have been hesitant to allow me to donate the kidney because of my anxiety. So I knew that going in, that might be an issue. I knew that might be a red flag. And I can tell the story now because it's done. I've already given away the kidney. I lied to those people. I 100% made it up when they said, you're on Celexa. Why? And I said, yeah, I don't even take it. I take it once in a while as needed. Bold-faced lie. And they're like, well, why do you just take it a little bit? I go, I just take it here and there when needed. And they go, well, that isn't how that medicine works. You must take it every day. In fact, it doesn't even become effective until you get a certain amount of it in your brain. And I go, yeah, I know. Now, I said that just playing it off like, oh, yeah, I don't even have the anxiety issue anymore. It's not even a problem. And then they said, well, then why don't you stop taking it? I said, okay, that sounds good. So that's how I did that. And then I actually stopped. I called my doc and I said, yeah, I don't need it anymore. So I lied to him too. And this was all because I knew that if I didn't do this, I didn't want any chance of giving away the kidney, of not happening. So then gave it away. That was in August. And so the medicine leaves my system. And then I didn't realize it at the time, but anxiety was starting to become an issue. But it wasn't noticeable. And it wasn't until this last month, after the surgery's done, when anxiety was just beating the shit out of me. And it was becoming more and more of an issue around the house. And Diana was getting very, very frustrated with me. It was hurting a lot of things around here. And I wasn't doing well at all. And then one of you nice people, I forgot who sent me the email, actually suggested that medicine, which I know. I mean, I've taken that medicine. And then I said, I should just get back on it. And Marcy says, I noticed. Wow, interesting. Yeah, I know. I talked a lot about anxiety attacks on the show, so maybe that's why you noticed. I was having anxiety attacks all the damn time. So, week and a half ago, I called up and I go, yeah. So I told them everything I just told you. I go, yeah, I lied about that. I wasn't feeling better. I just did that so I could donate the kidney. So they go, oh, okay, well, all right, let's have a meeting. So I met with my what do you call it? Not my doctor, but what do you call it? A nurse's assistant, physician's assistant. And she can prescribe medicine. And so she goes over this long list of how are you feeling, rate from 1 to 10. And it's a very it's a thorough exam of you, and you do it via Zoom. I had talked about it. Dirk says, from time to time, we could see it. You'd freak out over little things, occasionally ending the show early. Yeah, that happened. It happened yesterday, but I was pissed off. Yesterday, I was pissed off bad. So maybe it still happens. I don't know. Yeah, so in that meeting with the doc, she's like, okay, all right, yeah, so we're going to put you back on this medicine, get the medicine. And typically it takes longer for the medicine to take effect. But I will say this, in response to what Melissa says, the anxiety had become much more happening on a quicker interval. And it was like more, I just felt worse. So maybe that has something to do with what you're saying there, on and off the medicine, because this is now twice I have quit the medicine. So this is the third time starting it. First time, then I quit. Second time, then I quit just now, and then now I'm back on it. So now it says it's supposed to take a little bit of time for this medicine to work, but I feel so much different right now. I feel so much better. I just don't feel as irritable and quick to think that my life is ending and the world is crashing down around me, because that's how it is. No joke. It's like, okay, this is it. It's all over. And then that kind of plays with my mind, and then I'm not productive, and I sit here and I brood, and it's awful. So, wow. That's crazy that you guys noticed that. I want to say sorry, but I mean, it's like, you're messed up. You were screwed up. But yeah, so I guess that's proof positive. Stay on the meds. This time, and I don't have any more kidneys to give away, so I'm not going to do that anymore. So we're in the clear. And I if Jeffrey's listening to this, I don't want you. I've said this before. Don't you dare feel bad about this. I knew what I was getting into. And it's fine now anyway. And we did it. We've accomplished it. It was a little weird with that, but no big deal. We figured it out. And you got the kidney, and you're alive and well, and that's the most important thing. And by the way, I need to bring Jeffrey on here. I need Jeffrey to be on this show very, very soon, because I need you to hear how vibrant and excitable and energized this man is. And then what I'll do is I'll repost our first interview. And then I will or maybe I'll post them at the same time, like one right after the other, of him now. Different guy. Absolutely different guy. The way he sounded when his body was full of toxins and poisons, when he had no kidney function and was relying on dialysis. He was just beat up. It was horrible. And it took about a week. And then he was like, boom, different guy. I was like, oh my God. So that has to happen. Sorry, it's been like a wild tangent right there. Where was I? I was talking about GameStop, and then we ended up talking about all of that. We did talk about the Patreon. We talked about tag accounting. We talked about Prince arming, and then I went and looked at the comments, and that's how I got to where I got. All right. As always, send me your stories of interesting things that you think I would like to talk about on the show. If there's anything at all that you find interesting, I might find interesting as well. If I don't, please keep sending regardless. Send more. You never know what might strike me. The headline of this story from, it's either Live Science or LiveScience.com. Great site. I love science. Paleontologists have discovered a dinosaur artifact, an ancient fossil, and it is providing plenty of information about how dinosaurs would do what they would do. This particular dinosaur is called a Cydicosaurus. I think the P is silent. Psittacasaurus. Cydicosaurus. They have found a fossil of the Cydicosaurus of its cloacal vent. Cloacal vent. To you and I, that is known as a butthole, because the headline reads, first preserved dinosaur butthole is, quote, perfect and unique, paleontologist says. So they have unearthed an actual stink star. And can you imagine being the guy, in the wherever the arid area of the world, or it's dirt, and he's got the brush, and he's what is this? Is that an eye? What? Oh, wait a minute. That looks like a stink star. That is an actual butthole we have uncovered. The first dinosaur butthole ever discovered is shedding light. Where the article says where the sun don't shine, of course. The discovery reveals how dinosaurs used this multi-purpose opening scientifically known as a cloacal vent. Can you imagine if in like 5 million years they find some of you Zaniac's butthole and they go, this one looks like, wait a minute, this one looks like it was supposed to be like for getting rid of used food, but it's quite wide. I don't know what's the matter with it. It's like something was jammed into it repeatedly. What did these animals do back then? The cloacal vent for pooping, peeing, breeding, and egg laying. Yeah, it says here this person was a Zaniacosaurus. Most buttholes are only for outgoing material, but this one appears to be gaped inward. The dinosaur's derriere is so well preserved, researchers could see, wait a minute, the remnants, of two small bulges by its back door. Is that what I think it is? Which might have housed musky scent glands that the reptile possibly used during courtship. And I thought they were going to say it had a couple of big gnarly turds that were just waiting to be pushed out. This is an anatomical quirk also seen in living crocodilians, said scientists who studied the specimen. My God, this is incredible. Although this dinosaur's caboose shares some characteristics with the backsides of some living creatures, it's also a one-of-a-kind opening the researchers found. The anatomy is unique. Study lead researcher Jakob Vinther, a paleobiologist at the University of Bristol in the United Kingdom, told Live Science it doesn't quite look like the opening on birds. Whatever. All right, I think I've had my fun with this. The well-preserved booty belongs to the dinosaur Cydicosaurus. It's kind of weird that they find a butthole on an animal called a Cydicosaurus, a bristly-tailed Labrador-sized horn-faced dinosaur. All right. Yeah, it just looks like anything to me. But we've actually discovered a butthole. Unbelievable. None of the reproductive soft tissues like a penis were preserved. Have they ever found that? So the researchers can't say whether the dinosaur was male or female. Even so, this dinosaur likely had copulatory sex, not sec, unlike some birds that bump butts when they do the cloacal kiss during reproduction. My God, this is crazy. I'll link it up if you want to dive more into this. If you want to dive more into the dinosaur butthole, it is perfect and unique. Well, thank God. Okay, moving on. Leave it to 22-year-old Generation Z. Is that what we call the 22-year-olds? The millennials are like old as fuck now. The next batch are trying to, well, some people in the city of Philadelphia think that this 22-year-old was trying to take advantage of the COVID-19 and vaccinations. This guy set up supposedly some type of arrangement where he could get vaccine to people quickly. I'm not really sure how, and I'm not really sure how the city of Philadelphia said, yes, this guy's the guy. He's someone who we can partner with to get more vaccine into people. And it didn't take long after they got started before they realized that this guy might be a scam artist trying to do something not only for profit, but gathering up vaccine and taking it home with him and giving it to his bro friends as opposed to giving it to the elderly who are the next in line. So now this guy is being raked over the coals. I'll let you be the judge for this guy right here.
Well, Andre Doroshin says he's been receiving death threats since the city of Philadelphia cut its ties with his organization. And while he defended his actions to me, he also admitted that he administered vaccines without medical qualifications to 4 of his friends. It was a surprising partnership from the start. The city of Philadelphia entrusting a 22-year-old grad student with a plan to get lots of people vaccinated quickly.
It's really the health department here who's giving us a shot.
Now the city says it made a mistake.
In retrospect?
Yeah. Retrospect. 22 years old. How the hell can a municipality sidle up to a frickin' 22-year-old idiot? The only thing 22-year-olds are good for is, like, I don't know, maybe making music, perhaps coming up with some drugs. I don't know, living with their parents. You got to start minimum of 42 years old. The brain of, especially a dude's brain it takes a longer amount of time before it actually starts to operate at full capacity. I think that a 22-year-old dude's brain really, for the most part, doesn't really kick in until they're about 35.
We wish we had worked with that organization.
Among the accusations, Andre Doroshin took the vaccine home and personally vaccinated his friends.
Did you take extra vaccines home with you?
Yeah, but I would like to tell you the whole story.
Doroshin says 4 doses were left over after a mass vaccination clinic last Saturday.
You vaccinated your friends, young people. Why not find someone who is in an at-risk group to vaccinate? There are grandmothers, there are grandfathers, there are people all across this country that can't get this vaccine.
And we did that. Stephanie, we called. The doses were about to expire. We called everybody we knew.
Well, then you run outside and say, who needs a vaccine? If you're willing to just shove it into any idiot's arm, why didn't you do that?
Every single person.
Are you qualified to give a vaccine?
I am not a nurse.
I like how he dances around it. Are you qualified to give the vaccine? That requires a yes or no answer, and then he pulls out that.
Every single person.
Are you qualified to give a vaccine?
I am not a nurse. I have undergone our internal certifications.
But Andre, you're not qualified, right?
No.
He said.
Okay, so this guy thinks he's got a leg to stand on, stole the vaccine, not a nurse, gives it to his friends, and he can't figure out why everyone hates him.
I have undergone our internal certifications.
But Andre, you're not qualified, right?
No.
he says he didn't want the vaccine to go to waste.
I stand by that decision. I understand that I made that mistake. That is my mistake to carry for the rest of my life. But it is not the mistake of the organization.
The accusations of vaccine misuse surfaced after the city alleged the organization abruptly shut down testing clinics, did not reveal it was becoming a for-profit business.
Aha! That's the snake in the grass. You didn't tell us you are now for profit. I don't think that anybody should be in the spot of for profit at this stage of the game when it comes to vaccine distribution. I can't talk today.
And that it updated its privacy policy, potentially allowing personal data to be sold.
Oh!
DeRochen told me they never sold anyone's data, and that the privacy policy posted was a mistake.
Wait a minute. Yeah, everything's a mistake with this fucking dum-dum. Yeah, we're going to sell it. Okay, so they're taking these thousands of people's data, their information, selling it, making money on it, and then they say, hey, you updated that on the privacy policy. We see it right here. Yeah, that was a mistake. Everything with this fucking asshole is a mistake.
Attorney says
you can't say that every time. A mistake is... Again, it's like when I'm dealing with my kids, like when Madison slams the door and I say, Madison, don't slam the door. It was an accident. That's not a fucking accident. That you just did it. Okay. That's not accident. Accident is if my water bottle is here and I bump into it and it falls over. That's accident. That's a mistake. Okay. Intentionally posting something to your privacy policy. God, listen to me today. And suggesting that you're now going to take these, all the data and sell it for profit. That's not a mistake. You fucking did it.
Anyone's data, and that the privacy policy posted was a mistake. The district attorney says the allegations raise serious concerns.
If your point is that you have come here during a pandemic to do good work for people and to help people, then that's not what it looks like.
Right. No.
Right. Exactly.
We first met DeRochen when his vaccination clinic launched at the Pennsylvania Convention Center 3 weeks ago. They would go on to vaccinate nearly 7,000 people.
We took the entire model and just threw it out the window. And we said, to hell with all of that.
Yeah.
We're going to completely build a new model.
Now, healthcare
and then sell all that data.
Worker Stacia Syak, who was overwhelmed with relief getting the vaccine that day, worries she won't be able to get the critical second dose.
And my coworkers and I have been discussing it. We all feel that same way. We just feel kind of betrayed. And it's a shame. It's so frustrating.
On this issue of profitability, DeRochen says that they wanted to start billing insurance companies because it was too expensive to run these vaccination clinics, and the donations they were getting were just not enough. Yeah. Savannah?
Well, Stephanie, you talked to the DA there, which raises, of course, the question, could there be criminal charges here?
Well, the district attorney wouldn't say whether there is an investigation underway. DeRochen says he has an attorney and he's concerned, but he also added that he believes he did the right thing.
We'll see. I don't know. This guy, I smell a rat. This dude seems crooked as hell to me. I'm not so sure. I have resigned myself to believing that I'm probably not going to get this vaccine for about another 15 years. At the rate it's going, and I'm okay with that. I just plan on not doing a whole hell of a lot. I don't want to run out the ground ball and even attempt to even explore it because I'm so on the backlog of the list. There's a website you can go to that says find your place in line for each state, and you give like your age, whether you work out in the public, whether you're a medical professional, whether you're a teacher or something like that. In Michigan, I think there's like 9.5 million residents. And legit, I think I'm like at 9 million. And I'm like, how can I not be last? I don't know how I'm not last. The actual last guy in line. It would actually say, Eric Zane, you are the absolute last person in line right now. All right. It's coming. It's coming. Hang tight. It'll be there. I know that Dirk is just dying to get the vaccine still. Oh, God, buddy, hang on. I know you're going to get it. I know you're going to get your vaccine. Hey, I'm asking you that, or I'm telling you that if you have a business that you want me to talk about, or you know somebody that has a business that might look good behind me on a sign, I've got openings. I was sold out for the longest time. I have openings right now. I would love to talk about your business on the podcast. All you need to do to get more information, and that's no commitment for you. You're not committing to anything. It's just me telling you how I can help you. All you have to do is drop me a line, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Do people even say that? Drop me a line. Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. And I will reach out to you and give you all of the information you need about getting started on the podcast. eric@ericzaneshow.com. I can, for just even the minorest of budgets, smallest of budgets, I can help you. And even if it's more elaborate, we can get into that too. Hang on a second. I'm looking at emails. Hi, Eric. My name is Scarlett. I run a blog called Fluent Woof, where we help dog parents speak fluent woof with their fur babies. Oh, I've gotten these before. I'm emailing you because a piece of yours, which I found, and then she has a link up on my website. I saw that you had linked to a story about dogs. Therefore, I have a proposal. It's a complete scam. No, thank you. No, Scarlett, I'm not interested. Thank you, John. John sent an email. I appreciate that. All right. Sorry. You're like, what are you doing, Eric? All right. Let me help your business. Eric@ericzaneshow.com. I want to get into a little bit more. I got into a fight with Kenny because I was yelling at him yesterday because I forgot how he described it, but he didn't seem convinced that the air scrubber actually scrubs the air from A&E heating and cooling. God, did that annoy the shit out of me. Still love you. How the Remy Halo works. I actually want to tell you this so that you don't think I'm like being crazy or anything like that. First of all, Joe Martinez is going to install this into your furnace or air conditioning system for $100 off. This is lauded as one of the greatest innovations in what's known as IAQ technology. The Remy Halo Induct Purifier recreates the natural process of purifying air. It allows you to bring fresh air in without opening the windows, purifying every cubic inch of your home. It's highly effective at eliminating all three indoor air pollutants, particulates, microbes, and gases. How does it work? It uses reflective electromagnetic energy technology. Once installed in the supply plenum of your HVAC, the Remy Halo Induct Air Purifier works to produce hydrogen peroxide plasma. That sounds crazy to me, but that's actually what it does. The IAQ solution distributes the plasma through the system's air handler and ducts and into your living spaces. Other passive indoor air quality solutions require particle pollutants to pass through them for filtration and purification. The Remy Halo operates more proactively, getting to the source of the pollutants and purifying them instantly. What's more, the charged plasma also induces particle pollutants to solidify and stick together, and then those get stuck in your filter. You just have to remember to change the filter. Benefits. Reduces airborne particulates like dust, pollen, dander, and microbes. Kills up to 99% of the bacteria, viruses, and microbial growth in your home. This is greatly going to impact your health and comfort. Reduces sneeze germs by 99% of the time it takes a sneeze to reach 3 feet. What? Easily integrates with your current HVAC system and operates at a low decibel level. Can't even hear it. Helps you avoid illness, breathe easier, and sleep better at night. Saves you money by reducing the wear on your HVAC system and by lowering energy bills. Decreases the frequency of asthma and allergy symptoms by eliminating harmful triggers. There, Kenny. That's what it does, you pain in the dick. Holy shit. God, I wanted to strangle you yesterday. I'll send you the link so you can read it while you're playing Rampage on your stand-up video game arcade that you have, you big fat dummy. My God. Have Joe install the Remy Halo. 616-516-8579. Call him today. There we go. Sarah Honda, that's the last sponsor of the day. Congratulations. By the way, before I get to that, today's Asshole of the Day award goes to Chad Wheeler. I don't care how bipolar you are, you dumb fuck. You didn't take your medicine. You hurt that woman badly. She's in serious condition, you sick son of a bitch. I hope you rot in hell while you're getting your stupid treatment. Oh, shit. Hang on. Lost a sign. Thank you, Sarah Honda. Thad Bond. I said Thad Bod. Thad Bond and the crew at Sarah Honda want you to visit. When you go in there, mention you heard it on the Eric Zane Show podcast. Make sure Thad knows that. Thad, Cameron, those are the people that I talk to all the time at Sarah Honda in Granville, Michigan. They're right on Kennewill, right next to the Cracker Barrel by 44th Street, across from the car wash and the Burger King. Can't miss them. Sarah Honda. Honda, best cars. I love them. Okay? We've had several Hondas. That's our car pretty much. And I just purchased a budget vehicle, and that's the thing, man. A Honda budget vehicle will run forever. I bought this car, 243,000 miles on it. It's an 08 Accord, and it is spectacular. They encouraged me to take it over to Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, my own mechanic, and have them check it out. They gave it the once over. They said, Eric, it's a good running car. It's well worth it. But if you want a brand new Honda or a certified pre-owned, something a little bit newer, of course, Sarah Honda is where I want you to go. Their website is sarahhondagranville.com. Thank you so much for sponsoring the Eric Zane Show podcast. Okay. Where is that last story? No. Huh. Where is that? Hey. Thank you to Dirk for sending the story about PETA's big victory. Typically, when I see that PETA is up to something, I get a little concerned about them because these people really go to the extreme sometimes to make a point. So I can't really say that I'm in lockstep in anything that PETA does. However, I've gotten on board kind of with the idea of monkey labor being a thing, and so many questions. I think the company's name is Chaco, Chaokoh. I want to say Chaoko, but it might just be Chaco. Chaco has a product, coconut milk, that they've been selling at Costco. And now Costco has said, all right, we can no longer put your products on the shelf because of the backlash that we've gotten because of what PETA has done. And it's working. PETA's efforts are working. And they have been pissed off, PETA has, because the company that makes the coconut milk, Chaco, has been getting the coconuts out of the tree, apparently by using monkeys. And I have so many questions about how this works. I mean, is it like you're on the ground with a monkey, and the monkey has a chain around his neck, and then does the guy go, all right, monkey, go get it. And then the thing climbs the tree, grabs the coconuts, and throws them down. Now, if that's the case, if the monkey just goes up the tree and then it comes down and then they take care of the monkey, is that really a problem? I mean, how different is that than anybody having any domesticated or any animal that they use for like a beast of burden or used to work, a working animal? How is that any different than like a leader dog? I'm not sure. I can't even say for sure that I'm on board with PETA in what they're doing here because I don't have all the information here. Now, if you take the monkey, treat the monkey like shit, well, all right, then we're kind of getting into a bit of a weird spot. By the way, I don't know about you, but lately I've been buying cage-free eggs. And because I go there to Meijer and the regular eggs where they've got like 35 chickens stuffed into a 1 foot by 1 foot cage are like $1.10 for the eggs. They're cheap. And then the cage-free eggs are only $1.89. So then I'm like, okay, to me the 79-cent difference is worth it. I can't say yes to the inhumane treatment of the chicken. Okay. So then I buy the cage-free eggs. And I find myself I remember the first day that I walked up to it and I'm like, oh boy, I don't know. Let me think here. Okay, I'll do it. I'll pull the trigger on it. I can't. So now I'm committed. So that's where I stand. And then the other day I saw there was some TikTok video of some hippie. Some hippie.
Stupid fucking hippie. Take a shower, hippie. Smelly shit, hippie. Dirty fucking hippie. He's Benny the Wonder Dog. Benny the Wonder Dog. Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah. Benny the One-Eyed Dog. Benny the One-Eyed Dog. Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog.
Hey, what's happening? 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 Hey, what's happening?
Don't you want him?
Side note, Gunnar joined us on the Patreon podcast yesterday. Gunnar, what are you doing? Man, I'm just picking apples, man, getting apples ready to get them to the market. He shared with me, I asked him a question. I go, how is it that you are able to pick apples whenever you pick apples, and then they're able to stay good while in your possession? And then by the time I get them in the store, I have them on my counter for 1 week, and they've started to, turn mealy and bad. And I found out that invented in Michigan, they put them in a controlled environment of like they blend the CO2 and the oxygen in a particular way so that the apple stays in a fresh state for a huge length of time, which I had no idea. No idea. World's best apple farmer, Gunnar from Gunnar and the Grizzly Boys. This may be probably my worst performance when it comes to actually speaking words. But anyway, I saw this video of this hippie play. It says, my cow loves music. And you see this beautiful cow laying down, and she's playing like some hippie Joan Baez song or some shit. And the cow loves it so much, it lays his big ass cow head down in her lap, and she's petting the cow. And I'm like, well, I can't eat that anymore. Fuck, man, this is horrible. Oh God, I don't need to see that. Oh, I barely eat red meat these days anyway, though. So, and that's because I don't want my cholesterol to get out of hand. But I can with the one kidney. But I'm like, oh fuck, this is a real turning point for me. I'm starting to become really, really affected by animals being killed for my food. I'm not kidding you. It's bugging the shit out of me. But it only bugs me for a little bit. And then I walk by the freaking beef jerky, and I'm like, oh, I gotta eat some of that. So anyway, PETA is pissed off because the coconut producers are exploiting the monkeys and lying about it. So they said there's no excuse for any grocery store to keep Choco coconut milk on the shelves. Who the fuck drinks this anyway? I mean, do you coconut milk? I've never had that in my life. My God. USA Today reached out to the Thailand-based maker of Choco coconut milk. I can't even pronounce what they are. Thepadung. The company is called Thepadung Porn. Thepadung Porn. That's the name of the company, Thepadung Porn Coconut Company Limited, which Thepadung Porn sounds like something entirely different. That kind of goes back to the dinosaur butthole story. Or you Zaniac with your fossilized buttholes that are found. It looks like this Zaniac was involved in Thepadung porn 5 million years from now. They have denied using monkeys and previously told USA Today that it has audited coconut plantations using a third party. Why the fuck do you even need a monkey to do this? Why can't you just get in a cherry picker and some fucking asshole goes and just picks it? How much more of a cost? How much does that affect your margins? I mean, my God, you need a monkey to climb up the tree and do it. I mean, I would love to see it happen once, but I mean, if all it takes is you to get in the cherry picker and some stupid asshole go up there and have him pick the damn coconuts, well, come on. Costco dropped the product in October, and Wegmans confirmed in November it was also removing the product. I cannot believe that these people are doing this. I mean, typically when PETA goes after a company, it's not quite a strong return. All that does is emboldens them. So there you go. USA Today said they audited coconut plantations using the third party like Thepadung Porn. It shared a copy of the 14-page monkey-free coconut due diligence assessment, which says 64 farms out of 817 were randomly selected and did not find the use of monkeys for coconut harvesting. So, following the recent news about the use of monkey labor, PETA says they've got hidden cameras showing this exact thing. Chaco, one of the world leaders in coconut milk production, reassures the world that we do not engage in the use of monkey labor in our coconut plantations. The company has said in a previous statement, which noted that its suppliers have signed memorandums of understanding that no monkey labor is being used at their time. Yeah, fuck the human rights. Let's just let's get after the monkeys. But again, if the monkey's going up there and the monkey's taken care of, the last thing you'd want to do if you are, in fact, using a monkey to climb a tree. I mean, that's what monkeys do, right? They climb trees. And if you train them to get the coconuts, you bring it down and then you treat the monkey well. You know, he's allowed to have more monkey sex and raise more monkeys naturally. And he lives in a posh monkey house. I mean, how can you deny that? You can't. The monkey's like, fuck you, man. I want to work. So I think that they need to check in with the monkey and see exactly how the monkey lives. Because if the monkey's just climbing a damn tree with a chain around his neck, who gives a shit? Who cares? It's a fucking monkey. I mean, my God. All right. As always, email the show, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Questions, comments, concerns. Want to hear from you. And please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on whatever podcast platform that you listen on. I know on Apple Podcasts they do that. I haven't seen one in quite some time. I don't even know if they allow it to happen. It might be like, this guy's so small, we can't even keep his reviews able to be published. I have no idea. All right. So there you go. That's going to do it. The Patreon is coming up in just a little bit. I appreciate you folks. Thank you so much. That's a fine Thursday edition of the Eric Zane Show podcast. We covered a lot of ground. Links to my stories in the show notes and available in the news of the website. Till next time, folks, I thank you so much. We'll do it again. Bye-bye.